Hello beautiful people, happy Monday. I hope everybody has had a fabulous day today and I hope it has set you up for a wonderful week. Now I have to apologise, I didn't show up last Monday. I know I have had a cloud of guilt hanging over my head the past 7 days. If I'm going to be really honest and transparent, the beginning of last week I was a bit overwhelmed. I was going through a lot of emotional and mental things that kind of just got a bit much. And then once once that all settled down, my partner had the man flu, and of course I caught the flu, and so I was feeling really crappy all of last week, and it lingered. And I really just didn't want to hop on and talk about positivity when I wasn't really feeling great myself. And I really took that time upon myself to rest. But now I'm feeling so much better. And I'm really excited for this week's chapter. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Freya. Hello. I have been set a goal upon myself to go through and dissect a very, very great book. It's called Your Dream Life Starts Here, and it's by Kristina Karlsson. Now, Kristina Karlsson is the founder of Kikki, the amazing Swedish-inspired stationery that we can find at our shops. But she has written a fabulous book, and it's all about your dream life and how to achieve it, and I absolutely love it, and I thought it would be a great idea to share it as I read each chapter. So last week we talked all about dreaming and how you should give yourself permission to dream, but this week it's all about being inspired by the dreams of others. Now, when my partner and I first got together, one of the most incredible things he ever said to me was, you become your environment. And it could not be more relevant. Just to give you a bit of a quick debrief, I guess you could say. I'm really lucky that where I work at a wildlife sanctuary, and I have an incredible team of people who are just as mental and playful and quirky as what I am. And last night we had the funnest night. We were playing bowling and laser skirmish and dodgem cars, and my throat and my chest muscles hurt so much from laughing. I have not laughed that hard in a very, very long time. Like, you know, when you're laughing so hard that your mouth is open but you physically cannot make any sound? Yeah, that's basically all of us last night. And so, you know, I'm really excited to be dissecting this chapter, be inspired by the dreams of others, and surrounding yourself with those who are like-minded and share the same passion, because it's really, really nice when you find a group of people, or when you've got people in your life that you can share your craziest ideas with. You can dissect your wildest dreams. You know, you can be playful with. You don't have to worry about letting your hair down, and you can bounce off their energy. And so I'm really, really excited to go through this, because I think it's really important that you do have people in your life that encourage you to dream and encourage you to chase your dreams, but also that you can bounce those dreams off one another as well. Because I think what we need to consider is that so much of our experience in life comes from the people we meet and the people we surround ourselves with. And that is what I guess the core of this chapter is all about. So let's go through it, because it's actually really, really it's going to be a short one, I promise. I'm not going to talk for 13 minutes. So let me just get into it so that you don't have to stare at me rattling on, and I'm already on a tangent. So clearly I love to talk. But basically, like I said, you become your environment. So it's really important to think about what it is that you're doing on a day-to-day basis, whether it's your job, whether it's a hobby that you have, or whether it's something that you've always wanted to do but actually haven't, built up the courage to go and do it and put yourself out of your comfort zone. Because you never know the people that you might stumble across when you do things like that, when you put yourself out there, and it can open up doors of opportunity. It can lead to these big ideas and things that you didn't even know existed within you. So I definitely think it's important not to shut yourself off from experiencing new things and meeting new people, because you never know who you might come across. So if you're feeling like you're lacking inspiration, or you're not too sure on your sense of direction, or you're lacking purpose, spark up conversations like what we talked about in chapter 1, about how it was all about dreaming, and the most important questions were, what would you do if you knew you could not fail? And what would you do if you had all the time and money in the world? Well, instead of asking yourself that, ask other people that. Ask people in your immediate circle or in your family. Ask them what it is that they would do, because they might inspire something within you that you had no idea you actually felt so passionately about. So that's just within your immediate circle. You know, imagine what you could then do if you connect with other people in, you know, who are like-minded, who share similar passions. You know, and how do you go about surrounding yourself with those people? You know, go and volunteer at an animal rescue center, or perhaps take up a pottery class, get some surf lessons. You know, go and learn a Spanish class in a group environment, or go on a solo Kentucky tour. Will go by yourself on a Kentucky tour. But put yourself into situations where, you know, you're doing something that you know that you like, or that you know that you love, but as a result you're sparking conversations and you're mingling with these people that you've never met before but have similar passions. But of course, if there are people out there that you know inspire you, you know, I understand that there are people out there that inspire you that may not seem or may not feel as accessible. You might have someone who is a celebrity that inspires you. You might have an author or a musician. There might be a well-known entrepreneur that inspires you, and you might feel like they're just out of reach. But there are different ways that you can access people that inspire you and find out how they achieve what they achieved. You know, there are podcasts, there are books, you know, video logs, social media. The world that we live in today, you've got a lot more avenues to walk down that'll get you to that one person. And, you know, you might not even want to connect with them directly, but you might just want to find out a little bit more information about themselves and how they achieved what they achieved. Because what inspires you may not be a particular person, but it could be something that you know inspires you, but you're just not too sure of who has actually achieved that yet. So there are different ways that you can go about finding, okay, who has hot air balloon across the Great Migration, and how do I get there? And, you know, people that you can spark those conversations up with that make dreaming and chasing your goals a little less daunting because they've physically achieved it. You know, don't be afraid to talk about what it is that you want to chase and what it is that you want to do, because when you get excited, other people get excited, and when other people get excited, you'll get excited and you'll feel a lot more inspired. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there and think about, who do you currently surround yourself with? Like, who is in your immediate circle? You know, like, do they actually inspire you? And I'm not going to stand here and say, oh, think of your immediate circle and cut them loose because they're not giving you anything. It's not about that. It's about expanding your world and kind of reaching out a little bit further, you know, like it's about accessing people that you never thought you possibly could have access to, you know, and I think as well, like, no matter what you need to think about is, no matter where you're from, your dreams are valid. So when you talk about those dreams with other people, that's when cool stuff happens. That's when cool shit happens. So for this week, for this chapter, it's all about being inspired by others and being inspired by their dreams. So think about who in your life already inspires you. Think about who may not be in your immediate circle, but somebody who does inspire you, and think about ways that you can access them. Do they have a podcast? Do they have a YouTube channel? Have they written books about their journey? Think about things like that. You may not have to directly connect and have a physical conversation, but there may be ways to access, you know, the strategies that they put in place to achieve exactly what you wanted to achieve. Once you've thought about who it is in your world or who it is that inspires you, there's actually a really cool exercise, and I will post the photos of the table afterwards. But basically, make a list of those who inspire you. Make a list of make a list of why it is you want to meet them, what you'll be able to learn from them, what would you get out of learning from them, but also how you can actually meet them. Just start by brainstorming 10 people. Like, a few people on my list, I've got Jenna Kutcher. She is an amazing influencer, and look her up. She's got an Instagram, a podcast. She's called The Gold Digger. It's absolutely incredible and inspiring all of you entrepreneurs out there. Kristina Karlsson is now on my list because this is such a good book. I've got people like Sarah Knight. She is an author. Carrie Bickmore. She is just an amazing, presence in the social world, and oh, she just stands for so many incredible things. You know, I've even got Hamish Blake and his beautiful wife, Zoe Foster Blake, because I think they're hilarious and they're just freaking killing it in this world, but still keeping it real. So basically, just start thinking about who's in your world that inspires you, thinking about who is not in your world but should be in your world and how you can access them. But basically think about, you know, how can you start surrounding yourself with people who are like-minded and who share the same kind of passions, because other people are an amazing source of inspiration. You become your environment. Don't hesitate to ask people what their dreams are. Don't hesitate to share your own dreams, because when you start talking about it, that's when cool shit starts happening. So that is basically my Monday motivation, something to think about. Think about, you know, what it is that what it is that you want to chase and what it is that you're dreaming about and what kind of goals you want to achieve. Think about who inspires you and who you'd like to connect with. Write them down, write a list, and as soon as that becomes, you know, as soon as it is put on paper, that's when it becomes real. But that is enough from me. I hope you have enjoyed this little video, and until next week, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you so much. Bye. See you later.